Nebraska bill would levy 30% tax on sales of hemp and CBD products to help offset property taxes. Marijuana Moment reports. A new finance bill being considered by Nebraska lawmakers would levy a 30% tax on consumable hemp and CBD products as part of a proposal to provide property tax relief. Lawmakers have separately introduced two cannabis legalization measures on the final day to bring bills as part of a special lawmaking session. The new tax proposal from Senator Lou Ann Linehan, Republican, comes after an earlier plan of hers fell short in April. The senator asked that the measure be pulled from the agenda on the final day of the state's regular legislative session after acknowledging that it did not have the votes to overcome a filibuster. The new measures was introduced last week as part of the special legislative session called last week by Governor Jim Pillen, Republican, to deal with the property tax issue. Some lawmakers on Friday attempted to cut short the special session, but the effort failed on a 34-4 vote. The discussion on how to tax what the state calls consumable hemp, in quotes, is part of a broader debate on how lawmakers want to balance sources of state revenue. Many lawmakers complain property taxes are too high, and proponents of the bill have said raising sales taxes would prevent further state reliance on property taxes to fund schools. Opponents, however, criticize the bill's overall increase in taxes, with some Democrats noting the sales tax in particular would hit poor Nebraskans hardest. The measure's text defines consumable hemp products as finished product that contain hemp and that contain no more than 0.3% THC. Hemp products made from stalks or seeds, that is, for fiber or food use, would not be included in the definition. Linehan's earlier measures, LB 388, initially contained a 100% tax rate on consumable hemp products, but following industry and consumer pushback, the proposed rate was reduced to 25% before the underlying tax bill was put on ice. The 100% tax was unworkable for CBD companies in our state. They were concerned it would drive them out of business, Senator Ann Wishart, Democrat, who's backed past efforts to end marijuana prohibition in the state, told Marijuana Moment in an email at that time. In talking with representatives from a group of CBD companies in the state, I worked with them and other senators to negotiate the tax down to 25%. Despite the failures of the earlier property tax relief bill, Linehan said months ago that she'd be interested in returning to the issue during special session. I'm willing to come back this summer, this fall, whenever, she told Senate colleagues in April. But I hope we will have a lot of conversations between now and then about all your perfect answers to this problem. Because it's easy to say no, no, no. That's real easy. So everyone who's saying we can do better, I hope you have those ideas to the Revenue Committee by the end of June. Linehan's new bill, LB1, was referred to the Unicameral's Legislative Revenues Committee on Monday. Two new legislative bills, LB 52 from Senator Justin Wayne, Democrat, and LB 71 from Senator Terrell McKinney, Democrat, also landed in the legislature on Monday, which was the final day for lawmakers to file legislation for special session. Wayne's bill, which was one of 23 introduced by the lawmakers that day, comes in at 162 pages, while McKinney's is 165 pages long. Both bills would legalize, regulate, and tax marijuana for adult use, as well as take steps to provide relief for individuals with criminal records involving cannabis. On the hemp tax issue, lawmakers have lamented that they have many provisions in the earlier proposal seem to come out of nowhere, although sponsors Linehan and others said on the floor at the time that the details were taken from other bills that lawmakers had introduced and debated. The hemp and CBD tax, for instance, ostensibly came out of LB 1341, introduced in January by Senator Justin Wayne, and apparently never acted on by lawmakers. The story kind of ends there, but essentially, Nebraska is moving forward. I mean, it's just a lot of like nonsense to even be introducing a bill at 100% tax rate for hemp and CBD products. I'm glad that they have two bills that introduce some proposed legislation on adult use marijuana, and hopefully that advances, because Nebraska has been one of the stalwarts that has kind of been a thorn in the side of the progress of cannabis of the cannabis movement. So essentially, I think that it'll be a little bit of time before Nebraska sees any real significant change. But, what do you guys think about these bills being introduced that are subsequently, bifurcating the system more, separating cannabis, separating hemp products, and now taxing the hemp products at a ridiculous rate? What do you guys think?
I mean, so in Nebraska, it sounds like they're just trying to turn hemp products into basically cannabis products with gross overtaxation. And it's going to drive people to go to all the other markets or just order online to get these things. And the businesses are going to suffer.
I don't know, some products that are taxed differently in different states, like cigarettes, for example, try shipping those from online. They usually don't like that. They're light bulbs you can't find off Amazon.
People drive and go get them.
Yeah, I understand that, but not everyone has that option. So I think they're saying, hey guys, closing this fucking loophole for you. Pay me my bread.
I mean,
yeah.
What do you think, Rico? Are you there? Is Rico on mute?
I was on mute.
Oh, there
Sorry.
we go.
I was like, yo, give me my money. Yeah, they are going to, people are going to make money regardless.
The state is.
This is like a 30% tax. Yeah, people are just going to do it.
It's crazy high.
It's ridiculous. It's
crazy high.
Why would an educated, intellectual, person that's running part of the state's constituents actually put this out there as an option? Why are they wasting time in Nebraska proposing legislation like this? Why aren't they actually taking this seriously? They're not making money off the enforcement. It's not like they can interdict the weed coming from California and resell it.
Well, no, this isn't even for weed. This is for all hemp products. This is like for lotions and stuff like that.
Well, it's all THCA, Jason. It's all THCA, bro.
I feel you, but that's not how they're writing this. They're not writing this for those types of products.
No, but there's no way around it. It's obvious that it's becoming a bigger issue even for states like Nebraska, especially for states like Nebraska that don't have any cannabis regulations at all.
You think there's even enough people in Nebraska that are using topicals that it even makes sense for a 30% tax? Maybe there's not enough people, and that's why they want to have such a high tax.
I think that they can
because they're trying to hit a certain number of revenue. They
can buy other hemp products, Jason, and that's what they're talking about. So they're buying all the other amazing products out there like Parody Gummy and many other products.
So I mean, help me understand this. Like, how is this going to offset the property taxes? Are they just going to give a 30% back? Like how is this, like, when people put up like shit like, oh yeah, this 30% tax on hemp is going to help offset property, like how is that even going to work?
Bro, I'm with you on that. Like you're trying to do some type of excise tax on hemp products to offset your property tax. That to me is just crazy. I mean, in all honesty, I'm surprised that there's even a property tax in Nebraska.
I was about to ask, how high could these Nebraska property? Because I don't know. I'll look at Zillow later today and see what a nice clean 3.2 costs me in Nebraska, and I bet it ain't what it costs in California.
Well, I bet it's a lot more than what people expected. I mean, my property tax jumped a lot in California.
You live in California, bro. You live in California. That's worth living in. They got to damn near pay people to stay in Nebraska.
Come on, now, people in Nebraska. Hey, Nebraska people. If you ever met anybody from Nebraska, not many people have, but if you lived in the Midwest for a long time, Nebraska people are really, really nice.
I've got some step family from there.
I've always had a great time. Like even when we played against them when they first joined the Big Ten, and we beat them, and it was like, yo, like these powerhouse motherfuckers are gonna come and they're gonna be wanting to fight and shit. Nah, it's nothing like that. So big shout out to the people in Nebraska. They're super duper nice. But this law, this proposal just makes no sense to me, like at all. Like, what do you have?
I agree.
What do you have against, like, maybe big hemp concrete, maybe big hempcrete is making a move into Nebraska and they're trying to block hempcrete because you can make your property taxes go up 60%.
But it didn't say that. It specified the things that are used for fiber and like non-consumable goods. It didn't. It exempted that. Yeah, so that can't be that. But speaking of paying, we do want to thank the C word with a big old super chat who says, still holding out for Delta 11 Good morning, world.
Good morning. And hempcrete is not a consumable product, so I think it would include hempcrete, which is a great. That's why there's a big play for hempcrete.
Hempcrete's not a consumable product,
right? But it's
a building material.
It was saying non-consumable products, so it would include hempcrete. It could be.
No, it didn't say that. It said.
I think
it said.
No,
I think it said would not
include.
It said that. It says for fiber or food use would not be included in the definition.
Yeah, so hempcrete would be considered fiber
and food, whatever use. So like hemp, like seeds, like the hemp hearts or whatever.
Delicious
hemp oil,
and nutritious
stuff like that. Exactly, absolutely, full of DHA and gamma-linolenic acid. People, I think that's like what they mean, and the fiber part. Hempcrete is part of that because it's just it's like a product made with the fibers, so it definitely would be precluded from that, so that's good. But I mean, first and foremost, it's like, who's taxing shit at that rate anyway? Who's taxing stuff at like, even if it's not 100%, 25% for a hemp product? I mean, it's crazy. It's like ridiculous.
I mean, they're just trying to take away.
Nebraska's a red state, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Doesn't matter. I mean, everywhere that's doing this.
No. The reason I'm saying that is because there's like more taxation in a red state. So this just doesn't make any sense.
We knew why you were saying
further.
We knew where you were going.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just closing the loophole of people are saying, you guys are going to hemp because you're not paying taxes as heavily. So, there's just closing the gap and taking away that reward for being able to find a loophole.
I bet this is coming from the cannabis industry out of Colorado, is lobbying the state of Nebraska for this. To level the playing field.
No, this is more Republican hypocrisy. Like, y'all want to have like less taxes. Like, why are you even proposing shit like this?
Rico's closed the door of his Republican closet. He's trying to hide again, you guys.
No, I've been talking. I talk just as much.
It's the end of the show, so he's got to go tuck back in.
I'm showing the same. I'm showing the same vitriol.
And wearing the same flip flops
of the political spectrum.
Wearing the same flip flops.
Mr. Lamitte goes to Washington.
Big meat on Washington.
I could just picture you walking around the halls of Congress with flip flops on, Rico. That'd be classic.
Yeah, big meat on Pennsylvania. Let's go. I don't know, man. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Oh, there's an interesting point. Brian Durambowski says even 30% would be less than those state licensing fees and the 280E bullshit. Just saying.